No.
That's not how it works.
Yeah. No, absolutely not. The only coaching job, and this isn't Penn State, that I think there is at least mutual interest, and I don't need to be an insider to see it. I think when there is smoke, and there's a lot of it, there's some fire. I think, to me, it's clear as day there is interest with Lane Kiffin and LSU. I think we've seen enough.
Florida.
And Florida. Absolutely. Florida for sure.
Florida has made it very plain.
Yes.
That they would really like him to go there.
Yes.
I mean, they can do it through intermediaries all they want. Yes. Everybody knows about it. I remember I'd said that I was actually talking to Terry about this. And we were talking about Lane Kiffin. This is like 2 weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, geez, Terry, the way this thing's going right now, I said, Lane's going to be a billionaire when it's all done.
Absolutely. And that's the other part of this. This is just like free agency when people wait for dominoes to fall. It is literally the same exact way. You wait for the season to end, number one, but you also understand that the best coach is typically not going to be the first one to take the job because he's waiting to see what the other guy's going to get.
Yeah.
And then he's going to leverage himself even more. Now, that's absolutely accurate. There's no question about it. And yeah, Lane Kiffin, I think, and this is, look, I do not have inside information. I have no idea. I'm not Nostradamus, but I think his days in Ole Miss are numbered. I think he probably takes one of those two jobs.
It depends.
But who knows?
Okay.
Yeah.
I've only been around him a few times ever.
One time.
I don't know him.
Around him one time.
Okay. Well, I've been around him. Okay, a little bit more than that.
Yeah.
So I don't know the guy at all.
I don't either.
I don't know.
He's not a lifer at a job. Okay. I've noticed. That's one thing I've recognized with him.
With the Tennessee thing, yes.
Yeah.
Okay. But the USC thing was not his.
That was not his doing.
Not his choice.
No.
Okay. Alabama he stayed, but when he got a head coach, it was he's actually outside of Tennessee. He's made natural moves.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay,
and he's been fired at two jobs that he had no choice.
He's made natural moves.
Yeah, USC and the Raiders obviously weren't his choices.
USC and the Raiders, he got fired from both jobs. He goes to Alabama, then he gets a head coaching job opportunity in Florida Atlantic, so he takes it.
So he takes it, sure.
Does well, and because that's a stepping stone job, with all due respect to the good people at Florida Atlantic, right? I mean, even Michigan's basketball coach at Florida Atlantic, got him to the Final Four, and then after 1 year later left. All right? But that's natural for him to go to Ole Miss.
Sure.
So, except for the Tennessee one, which was bad. I mean, how that played out was bad.
Absolutely.
He's moved around twice out of necessity, and the other times through natural attrition.
Absolutely.
Okay? I mean, so it's not... But I don't know what makes him tick.
No.
I'm not even sure that people around him know what makes him tick.
No, I don't think so either.
I don't know what makes him tick. I don't know if there's something about Oxford. Have you ever been to Oxford?
Yes, one time.
Oxford's beautiful.
Beautiful.
It's a beautiful area.
Absolutely.
Beautiful campus, but a beautiful area.
Yeah, I like the campus.
Nice town. But I like the town too. Right? The town's really nice. And the campus is just absolutely beautiful. And you don't know.
No, you don't. And
you don't know what his personal relationship is with the staff at Ole Miss.
No.
I don't know any of that stuff.
No. And
I think we make too many assumptions about, he'll just go because he's got to get out of Ole Miss and he's got to go someplace.
That doesn't necessarily mean it. No, absolutely not. And that's the other part of it is we're still, and then the point we just made a little bit ago, we're still in season. Who knows what can happen at the end of the year? Who knows who leaves what school? Who knows who gets fired?
Well, part of this
all of this stuff can happen.
Part of this is, look, at some point during the course of a week, I'm sure he talks with his agent, Jimmy Sexton.
Of course he does.
Okay?
As will any coach.
Right? Because, hey, all right, I'm hearing all sorts of stuff. What's going on? Because they're all contacting Jimmy.
Sure. Absolutely.
They're not calling Lane.
No, they can't. They can't.
That's the part about the coaching search. Okay, the people just think they call up. Hi, I'd like to speak to Nick Saban. All right. Hey, Nick. I'm talking if Nick were still coaching Alabama.
Yeah.
Okay. Hey, Nick. What do you think about coaching LSU? Hello, Nick. Hello. Are you there? Now, here's how you go about it. You call Jimmy Sexton. Hey, Jimmy. So I'll let you know, we've got an opening over here at LSU. Okay, look, we want to take a big swing. Is there any way, shape, or form do you think Nick would even consider a move? Right? And if so, what kind of terms would it take?
Yeah.
Right? That's how you get these conversations going.
Absolutely. And that is the one advantage you have when a coach is fired in season. You have the ability to pretty much throw a stone anywhere. And whether or not that person is interested, who knows? But you have that ability, you have that advantage to do that.
Yeah. Again, when nobody knows,
right?
You have no idea which agents Pat has talked to. You don't know.
No.
Nobody knows.
Nope.
Okay. Have you talked to anybody on Zoom? I mean, anything.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody knows.
During a bye week, if you talk to anybody, that's the other parts of it.
Yeah. So we just wait. It's okay.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Right.
It hits December 25th and you don't have a coach yet. Then there's concern.
Well, it hits December. It hits December 3rd.
Yeah.
Because the
that's
the start part.
Absolutely.
That's the signing day.
Yeah.
My understanding is they think they can still maybe sign 8 to 12 people. Okay. We'll see. It will take a lot of work.
Mm-hmm.
It'll take a lot of work to do. And then, of course, you got the transfer portal part, which you really are going to have to deal with.
No question.
Really going to have to deal with it. But,
and as is the case when there's a coaching change, no matter what. So it's not a case of nobody wants to play for Penn State. Nobody wants. That's the case when any coach leaves.
It doesn't matter.
Literally, that is the coaches recruit their guys at any school.
Right.
That's going to happen anywhere. Tell me it didn't happen at Alabama when Nick Saban left. It did.
Yeah.
There's no question.
Terry Smith has done a phenomenal job.
He sure has.
Right. Look, he was asked the other day at his press conference, and he gave exactly the right answer. Has he interviewed for the job? And he says, every day I'm doing this job is my job interview. Well, I'm telling you right now, at least in terms of the job interview part, he's knocking it out of the park.
I agree.
And you got to give him a lot of credit for how he's handled himself with the media. You have to give him a lot of credit for how he's handled himself with his team. And look, he's not over there. He loves the players, but he's tough on the players. He's tough on them.
Sure.
And that's the part people don't realize. It's okay. People will take tough coaching. People will take tough conversations. People will take, if you're honest with them, they'll take honest conversations, realizing that you still think the world of them. But at the same time, you can go out and still have all their respect, and they're still going to love you.
Sure.
Well, that's Terry. That is Terry as to how he's handled everything to this point. Incredible family. Penn Stater through and through.
I was going to say Penn State. Absolutely, that's the other part of it. Penn State is in the blood through family.
Yep, through and through. So he has been, he's done. To be honest with you, I remember when we thought there might be a problem. Jack asked me, who on the staff? I said, definitely Terry would be the guy to pick. It's interesting how you sit there and you say, it's definitely Terry. And then you talk to Terry, and Terry was shocked he got it.
He was ready.
I'm saying, though.
Absolutely.
But he was shocked he got it. Because remember, Terry was meeting with the corners.
Uh-huh.
And so Terry came out about 20 after 1, and Kevin Threlkel, I think he called him. in the building, probably called him on his cell phone in the building. He said, hey, can you come meet? And when he saw Kevin's face, and Kevin, by the way, is going to Virginia Tech, right, who's one of the greatest guys you'd ever want to meet. I mean, he and his wife and those 2 little girls are just unbelievable. Right, I'm going to miss those guys. But he came out and he saw Kevin's face and it was ashen. He said he knew something was up. It was like, yeah. He said, Pat needs to talk to you. So I went and talked with Pat and Vinny James in one of the meeting rooms over at Lash. He's like, holy cow, really? Because you go from coaching a position to now coaching
being
an entire
head coach.
team.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, but coaching the entire team. And I mean, that's something that that you don't realize. Like, we'll talk about like a coordinator getting a head coaching job. Well, a coordinator prepares themselves to be a head coach in part because they coach literally half the team. Okay. But there is also a difference of coaching half the team and coaching the whole team. So that's why sometimes a coordinator has to get used to it. Okay. Right? As opposed to, as Terry told me, he says, I go in the room, there are 11 guys. He said, now I walk in the room, there are 125. There's a big difference. Thanks for listening to Sports Talk with Steve Jones. Catch the latest from me on the 7 Mountain Sports YouTube page. Find clips of the show on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook by searching up 7 Mountain Sports.